was your man, and I want it back that way. Chasing our dreams for what it would seem. A family, 2 kids, in a house by the sea. Those were the days I trust they would change. Now I'm standing here wishing back to that way.
You must be missing me so. Loving someone is not easy, you know, but it makes us feel alive, so we go with the flow. Just love me harder, have no mercy on me, just tell me louder. If you're loving me, just love me harder, have no mercy on me, tell me louder. If you're loving me, can I tell you what I want? Can I tell you what I need? Can I tell you what I want? Can I tell you what I need?
Live from assorted corners in the Twin Cities, it's Brave New Workshop Goes Viral. And here's your host, Caleb McEwen.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brave New Workshop Goes Viral. We're so pleased to have you here this evening. Thank you also for your patience. We're starting a few minutes late tonight. We experienced some technical difficulties. We assume that the internet is still overloaded from all of the kids that were on Zoom this week for school. We're just now pulling out of it. It has been crazy, and somehow we've all survived. But we are so happy that you could join us here this evening. As we always say, the Brave New Workshop is the oldest, longest running comedy theater in America. But because of COVID-19, currently we are not doing live shows at our downtown Minneapolis location, and we are streaming to you each weekend here as you see us just now. Now, if you would like to support the Brave New Workshop during these unprecedented times, you can do so by clicking on any one of the contribution links that you could find either in the description on the social media platform where you happen to be watching this, or at the link that is located on our actual website page as well. Again, the stream is always completely free, but if you would like to help out and contribute during this time, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. But it has been another crazy week, and we need to take just a few moments to catch up before we move forward. So let's take a look at what's been happening over the last 7 days. It is September 12th, and here in Minnesota, the door to summer has slammed shut like the lid of a defective off-brand coffin. Look around, leaves are brown, and the sky is a hazy shade of holy crap, what is happening? It's a weird week when a downplayed pandemic, racial tension, news about Russian election meddling, and the anniversary of the largest terrorist attack on American soil all take a backseat to the aftermath of a gender reveal party. The Western hellscape continues to burn as America looked at Australia earlier this year and confidently said, "Hold my beer." That's right, Australia. Just because our animals don't have as many pockets as yours doesn't mean we don't know how to party. Check it out. Speaking of burning it all to the ground, Donald Trump spent much of the week responding to the backlash from the release of tapes by Bob Woodward that revealed Trump knew about the severity of COVID-19 and chose to downplay it. Trump has since said that, yes, he knew the virus was 5 times more deadly than the flu, but that he didn't want to scare people and start a panic. Come on, panic is Trump's bread and butter. This is the guy who told us that a caravan of people was coming from Central America to murder us all. And if you don't believe me, then read any one of the pile of mailers he has sent to me over the past month. Oh, look at this. This one says, "The Democrats have moved way too far to the left, and that worries me." Oh, yes, and that's a very snowflakey thing to say. I also find it shocking that the woman he chose to include on this particular mailer that is going out in Minnesota looks an awful lot like Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. Yes, a very terrified version of our lieutenant governor. Seriously, though, if you read these, they read like H.P. Lovecraft, only way more racist. Speaking of racist, Kansas City football fans booed a pre-game moment of silence being observed to call for justice and equality. Now, this came as an absolute shock because no one would have ever expected a racist response from the fans of a team whose mascot is nope, that tracks. That one's on me. Sorry, my fault. Moving on. Speaking of unsurprising, Judge Peter Cahill removed 4 Hennepin County attorneys chosen to prosecute the officers being tried for the killing of George Floyd. The judge cited sloppy handling of an interview with a medical examiner. Now, this came as an absolute shock, as no one would expect representatives of an office that works in close relationship with police to bungle the prosecution of police officers No, no, that tracks. That tracks too. That's on me. That's on me again. That's I'm over two. Over two. Come on, pull it together, Caleb. Come on, we can turn this around. We can turn this around. All right. And finally, for the second time in as many weeks, multiple boats sank at a Trump boat parade. Now, as the boats went down, passengers on board screamed, "Help us! Help us!" But they were ignored by other boaters. Why? Because all boats matter. And that brings us to the end of the last 7 days and all the craziness that has ensued therein. Now, as we were saying just a few moments ago, we are back to school here in Minnesota this week. Many schools have been in session for quite a while now, but the bulk of them in the Twin Cities area picked up right after Labor Day. And when we were thinking about going back to school, it actually reminded us of something we did a number of years ago in order to kind of commemorate and give a little bit of a public service announcement as we approached the end of the school year. And we thought that we would share that with you here tonight, as many schools have been out since March. And this would take us back to a slightly simpler time when we had different things to worry about. Let's take a look.
There is a growing problem in America.
We all know what's coming, but no one is saying anything.
People are afraid to speak up to young girls about it for fear it might sound mean or judgmental. But something must be done before it's too late. No matter what your friends might tell you, you should not sing Let It Go at your high school graduation.
I know you think you can sing it, and it somehow means something more to you than anybody else.
But you could not be more f***ing wrong.
It is estimated that this year, over 3,000 girls will die trying to hit the high note and let it go. And thousands more will be critically injured at the hands of those forced to listen.
Still, thousands will attempt to do so anyway, due to myths perpetuated by Glee, their own delusionally self-empowering blogs, and the fact that no one knows Idina Menzel is a musical cyborg from the future.
Seriously, remember in Jurassic Park 3 where Sam Neill finds that trumpet-shaped skull bone that lets raptors communicate? Idina Menzel has that. You don't.
And that's okay. You are a strong,
Intelligent,
Talented young woman.
And you will never hit that f***ing note. Never.
I can actually hit that note.
no you can't.
Yes, I can.
She has a beautiful voice.
Don't do that.
Even if you technically hit that note, you're not hitting it the way you think you're hitting it. So why not sing a song designed for humans to sing? You'll thank me later.
But
Nope.
this is Sherry. Sherry tried to sing Let It Go as a solo at her high school show choir concert.
This is the way I sing now. Let it go, let it go.
So realize that you've never really had to deal with the stifling repression of having sister-killing ice powers and choose a different song.
I really thought I
No. I, on the other hand.
No. So when it comes to singing Let It Go, let it go. And let's be honest, all you ever do is bitch about the f***ing cold anyway.
Let the storm rage.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
Ah, yes. Remember when your biggest problem was that your niece constantly sang that song poorly? Yes, well, slightly more complicated times right now. That was the Brave New Workshop's own Melanie Wehrmacher, Lauren Anderson, Taj Ruler, Katie McEwen, and Anna Weggel. And fun to look back on that from, as we said, a simpler time. But school is in fact back in session. Different places, that means different things. Some schools are going back full bore. Some are doing hybrid learning where they will have half a class in and the other half attending virtually on Zoom or some other platform. Some schools are doing nothing but distance learning. The one thing that is consistent, though, across all of these situations is that the people who have to deal with this and make it all work are teachers. They are once again in a very stressful position where they are trying to navigate this new way of doing things in a way that is safe for them and their students, and at the same time continuing with the ongoing challenge that simply is educating the youth of America. And I'm very excited that we could have a special guest with us here tonight to give us kind of an inside look at how things are unfolding in the classroom. She is my first grade teacher, in fact, Ms. Finkelclaws. Ms. Finkelclaws, are you there? Can you join us?
Woo! It's good to see you, Caleb. It's good to be here.
Well, it's good to see you too, Ms. Finkelclaws. I'm so excited that you could join us here and give us a little insight into what is going on in the classroom right now, because I know it has to be a challenge. Isn't that right?
Oh yeah, Caleb. It's a rough time for teachers, but you know what? You know this better than most. Teachers are used to it. They know how to handle it. If you need a job done, they get a teacher to do it. And that's all I have to say about that.
Now, you are still teaching first grade, and that is a challenge even in normal, conditions without all of these stresses and the layers of difficulties placed upon us right now, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, Caleb. I mean, 6 and 7-year-olds are weird. If it's not mud, it's pee. You're trying to learn the alphabet and you're trying to learn how to comb your hair. I mean, it's a whole thing, Caleb. Now imagine doing that during a pandemic.
Absolutely. Now, at the moment, you're a public school teacher here. How is your school handling this? Are you doing distance learning? Are you in school? Is it hybrid? What is the method that you are using to deal with this?
Well, Caleb, we're doing mostly online right now, and that is a learning curve. The upside is that our district decided to provide iPads for all of the students.
Mhm.
But the downside is that iPads are not peanut butter proof. I mean, there's only so much peanut butter that electronics can take before they just cut out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone wanting to give just stacks and stacks of $1,000 pieces of hardware to small children and just thinking that that's going to work out without a problem.
Well, and then even to get them to watch it. Like every kid wants to watch television until you have to watch it for school. And then try and get a kid to watch it for 6 to 7 hours a day. I don't think so. It's all I can do to keep them interested. I said, hey, but we still manage to have fun. The wheels on the bus go round and round, and so do the hours on the clock. And before you know it, it's happy hour, baby. Woo!
But you do seem like you're kind of in a partying kind of mood.
Well, Caleb, I made it through the week, and if I can make it through 1 week, I can be done, and that is all I need to know. In fact, a lot of this is new, but teachers we're used to being in the trenches. It's a lot similar to how it always is. I wake up, I pour myself a cup of coffee. In fact, I'll pour you one now. I wake up, I pour myself a little cup of coffee, and then I just, if a kid answers correct, good job, you. Oh, that's good coffee.
Now, are you?
Woo, that coffee burns.
Are are you turning education into a drinking game?
Well, wouldn't you, Caleb? I mean, come on. Anytime somebody's dog walks in the frame, you take a drink of coffee. Anytime a kid forgets to unmute its microphone, you take a drink of coffee. Anytime a parent comes in and they clearly look like they haven't been wearing pants on the regular, you take a drink of coffee. I mean, it's business as usual. Mm.
This is business as usual.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I love my job. I mean, wouldn't you say that I was your favorite teacher?
And in this particular instance where you can hear me, yes, I would.
I mean, look at this, Caleb. I'm a grown ass woman with a duck clip in my hair. Clearly, I love my job.
I think that you have had that duck clip in your hair since you taught me, Miss Finkelclaws.
Well, yeah, Caleb, this was given to me by one of my very first students. Yep, she buried it in the backyard for a whole year. And then at the end of first grade, she dug it out of the backyard and gave it to me. And at first I was like, well, that's gross. And then I thought to myself, no, Gloria, that's love. And that's why we do it. And that's why I wear the duck pin. So I never forget.
I'm glad that you see it as love, but when a child buries something in the backyard for a year, digs it up and asks you to wear it, to me, that seems like some kind of voodoo ritual. Probably. Like somehow they're controlling you from some remote location right now.
Damn! Your mind, I love where it goes. Always so creative. You should definitely do something creative with your life. Make sure you have a backup plan.
Yeah, thank you. Make
sure you have a backup plan because, you never know what's going to happen, Caleb. You never know.
No, you don't. It's like, yes. And just so you know, I'm most of the way through my life at this point. I am on the downhill slope at this point.
Oh, don't talk like that. What are you like, 25 tops?
Oh, how much have you been drinking? I didn't know. I am much older than that. And you were teaching me when I was little.
Yes, Caleb, I was. And let me tell you, a lot's changed. But at the core, teaching remains the same. Find the child where they're at. Kneel down to the child. Look them in the eye and tell them to just do it already. Just, please, for the love of God, do what I'm asking you to do. No, stop poking her. No, put that down. Cross your legs, be quiet, sing along. That's it, Caleb. That's teaching in a nutshell.
Well, I gotta ask then. In first grade,
yeah,
you deal with kids a lot of times when they are in the classroom. They are interacting with each other, and they can act out. They can, be pestering each other or whatnot. When they're on online learning, is it different? Is it easier because they can't talk to each other as easily? And also, how do they sing? Like I've been on a number of different work calls where people have tried to sing Happy Birthday, and it has made me want to gouge out my own ears just because there is no semblance of rhythm to it.
Oh, so you do have a job. Oh, I'm so proud of you, Caleb. There was a time there in first grade where I was like, I don't know about this kid, but look at you now, having a job.
Miss Finkelclaws, you are literally at my job right now.
Isn't this fun? Oh my God. Well, Caleb, you remember how to row your boat. Well, instead of trying to sing in unison, everything becomes a round. I start and then you start, and then we never have to be on time together. Let's do it now. Ready? Row your boat.
Row your boat gently down the stream.
Oh, we're sinking up.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Isn't that fun? Oh, Caleb, You're so talented. I love it. Oh,
Yet you thought that I would not have a job at this point in my life. You
well,
told
Caleb,
me.
honestly, between you and me, I don't think any of my students are going to have a job. First graders are monsters. Have you seen them? Have you seen them? They're dirty little guys that run around and pick their noses, wiping on the wall, and they think that's cool. They don't know. They come to me, Caleb, to learn how to be human, and I'm trying to teach them. And how can I teach them how to be human when I can't even be in the same room with them? You know what it takes? It takes big thinking on my part and a whole lot of coffee to get through it. I tell you.
Well, you seem to be holding up fairly well, and I think that is great, Ms. Finkelclaws.
Oh, thank you. You know, Caleb, it's the teachers, people have said it for years, but teachers are the real heroes. If I can say so for myself, we're heroes. And every day that I go into work, it's like I'm going into war, And I mean, a lot of times teaching class is worse than Desert Storm. And I should know because I was in Desert Storm. I am a war veteran, and I know the difference. And let me tell you, first graders are tough. First graders are worse. Where was like, oh, we're heroes.
Yeah, we're completely off track at this point.
We're the real heroes, Caleb. And I gotta say, for as hard as the job is, I wouldn't trade it for anything because I love feeling like a hero. I love kind of swooping in and saving the day. I mean, when's the last time you saved the day, Caleb? I mean, really? Last time I saved somebody's life was when Derek Bussman jumped off the diving island in the middle of the river because he drank too much. And I was the only one that saw him going head first.
That is a shocking story. And a lot of your misadventures seem to involve drinking too much coffee.
Well, Caleb, a little known fact is that most teachers love to party. I mean, how else would you manage this incredibly difficult job that rarely pays what we're worth? You drink, Caleb, you drink. That's what you do.
Now more than ever, I imagine. Everyone, let's hear it for Ms. Finkelclaws. So glad that you could join us here tonight. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best as you continue this educational adventure.
Caleb, I'm so proud of you. And chin up. You'll find a job that suits you any day now. You're so talented.
Thank you, Ms. Finkelclaws. That was truly disturbing. And of course, that was Lauren Anderson joining us once again. Let's take a second here and say hi to Lauren. Lauren, are you still there? Are you slowly
yes,
pulling the duck out of your hair?
I'm afraid to take this beautiful wig off because you don't want to know what's happening underneath this wig.
Well, you don't have to. You can leave the wig on if you
I'm just going to live the Finkelclaws fantasy for the rest of this show. This is real human hair, Caleb. I just want you to know that.
That is either an indication that is a high quality wig or that you have a terrifying double life that you lead. I'm going to choose to believe that it is a high quality wig.
Well, usually,
not some Silence of the Lambs stuff going on in front of the green screen.
I've had to do what I had to do to get by. No, I lucked out, and now my roommate had a whole beautiful wig collection. So I was like, oh, I can dip away from these trashy sketch comedy wigs that have seen some things and really experience the fantasy here. This is great.
Trashy sketch comedy wigs is my favorite 70s punk band, by the way.
Exactly. They were misunderstood, man. Nobody got them.
They really were. But hey, you know what? I feel like they're coming into their own in the digital age where people can find them on places like Apple Music.
Honestly, though, it was really fun to play a drunk teacher, but I just want to say, like, shout out to all the teachers right now. I know it's difficult and there's like no good options right now. So, whatever people are managing to do, like, we love you here at the Brave New Workshop and we feel for you and we are rooting for you. And also, teachers are some of the hardest partiers I've ever met. I've been to a few teacher conferences before and they get down.
Excellent. I love that your signal for getting down is essentially the way that Ultraman fired lasers out of his wrist. Very nice.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being here this week, Lauren, and we hope to see you back again real soon.
Thank you, Caleb. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. Goodbye.
Bye, Lauren. And thank all of you for being here as well. We've got another week in the books here at the B&W Goes Viral. Once again, if you would like to support the Brave New Workshop, you can do so by clicking on one of the contribution links that you can find either in the descriptions on the social media platform where you happen to be watching, or at the link on our website as well. Thank you again for being here. Have a wonderful week, and we hope to see you back again real soon. Night, everybody.